What's up, Rooks? Welcome back to another episode of All the Castles, the show where we visit all the castles within the UK. Today we're here at Kirkoswald Castle in Kirkoswald, just sort of near Carlisle. Sometimes you are allowed onto the castle site, but only when this particular gate in front of us is unlocked, and unfortunately it's not unlocked for us today. So this is about the best place we're going to be able to get a vantage point from, probably. But yeah, on to Mike telling you some things.
Yeah, as Simon just said, well, he didn't actually say this gate is eminently climbable, but I'm not going to encourage anybody to do that. I'll just tell you a bit about Kirkoswald Castle from here. As you can see, it did used to be quite a substantial building. We're not talking about a little peel tower here. This is a genuine castle. You can see where the moat is and where the farmers put some stepping stones to help you get across there. I don't know what that little graveyard, that little grave marker is for, but as you can see, there is only one, well, it's not even a full tower, it's like one turret of a tower that's standing to almost its original height. And we can edit this bit. And there are small fragments of the curtain wall. I think you can just see them poking up through the trees. And across that way, you've got the ground floor of another tower. And the castle was built, well, probably there was originally a timber tower built by Ranulph Endgain in the mid-12th century, but it wasn't until 1201 that Hugh de Morville was granted a licence to fortify by King John. But not every local historian agrees that de Morville's castle was here. They think it might have been nearer the church in that direction. Should mention, as we're looking towards it, a very almost unique feature here is that the tower of the church is on a separate hill overlooking the rest of it. I can't think of any other place where that's the case.
Yeah, it's just visible there. Exactly there.
Yep. Now, in 1314, the castle was destroyed by Robert Bruce, but it was built again by at least 6 years later. In the late 15th century, it came back into the hands of our old friends, the Dacres. And it's thought that most of what you can see today, such as it is, dates from that period, the late 15th century, when the Dacres had it. And they built a great hall, the chapel, and the moat. And in 1604, Lord Howard was the owner, and he started dismantling it. This process took place over about 60 years, and bits of stone went to help rebuild Naworth Castle, Lowther Hall, and the village of Kirkoswald itself. So I think that is largely when the damage was done. But yeah, it's just a pity we can't get a bit closer, but have to respect landowners' wishes, and maybe we'll come back one time with a drone. Okay. And this is a view from the roadside, which is looking at the remains of the southeastern tower from a different direction. And I think if I'd walk down a bit after we've just explained one or two things here, we might even be able to see one of the surviving doorways. And this tower has, as I say, it's got doorways and small lancet windows, as we would expect for defence. And there's a bit more interpretation board here, which says that the Dacres actually took possession of the property until in 1329, and it was a home and the base for their army for about 100 years. And it went to the Howards because Elizabeth Dacre married into that family in the early 1600s, and they, as I said earlier, they decided to rob the castle of its best features for removing to Naworth Castle, which is about 16 miles away. Dessay will end up there pretty soon, and they took the whole of the chapel ceiling with them, apparently. So this will give you a look at what the castle was like, you know, in the, I don't know, is it? Don't think it's dated here. I'm guessing that looks a bit of sort of 18th century illustration. Apparently some of the south wall fell into the moat fairly recently. Right, so as promised, I will try to find a view of the doorway. Now, sort of look to the bottom left of the tower. Now, is that a doorway or is that just a hole? I think it's a bit difficult to tell from this distance. If we'd been able to get on the site, we could tell you for certain, but no, I can't be sure from here. So there you have it, Kirkoswald Castle. Hello, I'm trying to keep the camera very steady here. What you're looking at are the scant remains of Cappleside Hall, and this is in the fields on private land, so we've zoomed in as close as we can near Beetham in Cumbria, the other side of the road from Beetham Hall. Not much is known about it. The first documentary references to an area called Cappleside are in the 14th century, and this is on the flanks of what's known as Cappleside Hill. Unfortunately, no public footpaths, and it's thought to have been a 3-storey tower with a central hall and 2 service wings, one of which was later pressed into service as a barn, and that's why there are a few remains. That's the bit that's left now. And there are, so take my word for it, there are some earthworks nearby to show that it was quite a large, important site at one time. And yeah, it was at one point owned by the Cliffords and at another by the Middletons, and it's thought to have been derelict for a couple of centuries now, and as you can see, there's only 2 small fragments of it left, but we found it and we've logged it. Bye bye, Cappleside Hall.
What's up, Brooks? Welcome back.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
What's up, Brooks?
No, hang on, I messed it up.